so you guys can kind of see how it works. So everybody sees me in the camera, right? You guys kind of remember some of this? So anything behind me is obviously going to be in blue. I have it set it up for white hot, black is cold. Okay, so it's going to go in that spectrum. So if I take me out of the picture, it's going to fluctuate. Everybody kind of see how the trees moved and they change colors? So that's what we're looking for when whoever has this, which Warren, it's going to be you, just heads up, needs to have nice slow movements. We're looking for those cold spots. So I will tell you that cold doesn't necessarily mean just a blue spot. We actually caught an apparition in a full shadow figure that was in yellow against an orange backdrop.
So basically a contrast?
That's it.
What looks shouldn't be there. So
exactly. And you don't even necessarily need to pay attention to it. I just need you to hold it out just like this, horizontally, all night long. I've already started the recording.
Okay.
Now that little red square means it's recording. If you accidentally hit it, just hit it again. Pretty simple. It'll turn into a circle. So there you go. There's that. So spirit boxes are my way of communicating.
I like spirit boxes.
Spirit boxes are a lot of fun.
They
Spirit
are.
boxes creep me out.
Okay, I know who this is going to.
get over your fears.
So, what this is, you have to. Who's here seen the movie Transformers? Most of us? Okay.
Yeah.
So, remember
Yeah, I think so.
Bumblebee?
One of
Bumblebee
those.
talked through the radio. That's how you have to use this gadget. You're going to get communication back through the radio, DJ, a song lyric, a commercial break, or a disembodied voice over top of the static. I am going to turn this on. You guys will probably recognize some of the static noises from your ghost hunting shows, but if we catch something, I'll point it out. Okay? So you're going to be listening to it for the most of the night. So it's pretty quick. Alright? So if she hears something, this one does not record, so you have to tell me what you hear, even if it's a mumble.
Right.
There's only one button you need to know. It's on the back of the speaker. It's dead center. So usually when I'm talking or telling a story, keep it off. Because all I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to give you clues to the stories of what to listen for or watch for on your gadgets. All you do is hit that center button to turn it back on, turn it off. It's already sweeping. Right? Just let it run all night long. All right. I have another spirit box, but this one actually records the entire thing. And when I say it records, it means it only records the sweeps. No matter what the volume is at that you guys are listening to, it's going to keep it at an even level when I upload the MP3 to you. I don't know how that technology does it, but it's one of the reasons why I bought it. It's so that way we didn't have to listen to it all night long. This way, in the morning, you have one long sweep. And if I find anything in that sweep, I will give you the timestamp for it, so that way you can go directly to it and probably have, based on the thermal imaging camera video, the timestamp of what we were doing during that time. So, I'm actually going to give this one to you. So, the little SD right there means it's recording, so make sure there's a little button at the top, stay away from that. That'll turn it off. There's a little turnstile, see under my finger? That's all you need to do. Just turn it up and down.
Oh, that one's even crazier. Did you?
Let's see.
Get out!
That's when I would go, yeah.
So, we're using a lot of different types of tools, and you guys actually saw my last group. There was only a group of 2. This was the first night I was trying out a 7 o'clock tour before it gets dark, just to see if it would fill up, because I've been getting a lot of overflow. And because you accidentally booked me full, they poured over into the 7 because I'm supposed to be at 10 people tonight. It's okay. All right, so this is actually the neuralizer from Men in Black. You guys should remember that from last time. Did I get this far?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you don't remember because I may erase your memory.
Exactly.
So it's
looked,
actually a
didn't
grid
you?
pen.
I probably looked.
So the grid pens,
Yep.
what this will do is everybody kind of like see how that flashes back. The spirit will not actually hang out in this. In the event we actually do, and we capture a picture or something from the video, we will have a full image of it, whatever the image is going to show. So it is a laser.
Yeah.
Remember, lasers shoot very, very far. We could probably bring down the moon with this thing. We
Yeah.
can actually shoot it past that way. Hopefully I'm not setting off a car alarm, but it's on the building. You see how far that shoots? So this is going to go to a responsible adult.
I have one of these at home.
So there's one. Okay, good. So he already knows how to use it.
Have you been to the riots out in Portland? Is that what it is?
This one is very, very similar, but it shoots a red box grid. The reason why I use this one, did I have this one yet? Okay, so this one, let's say we capture a picture or something in the middle of this. I now, because 3D software uses grids to actually create a full 3D vision of, so very cool stuff to actually use. We haven't caught anything with it yet, but this usually goes to the same person. So you have two. Don't take offense, all right? Don't usually pick teenagers to take a regular camera because they don't know what to do with it.
I'm not a teenager.
So, the rule of thumb with the pictures is nobody along this wall can be in it. So, and there are places where I'll say no pictures because there's too many cars and people get weird about their license plates. There is no flash on these. Some of your pictures are going to appear dark. I will brighten them once I get them to see if there's anything there. But you'll have all pictures, and I actually upload them to Facebook and give you the link so it doesn't eat up my website space. Yeah. So that way everybody's got a Facebook these days, right? So you don't have one?
No.
You better get one. So it's a simple point and shoot. But again, don't mess with this up. Take as many pictures as you want. Alright, who's left without stuff? Two gentlemen, you don't have anything. I think what else do I actually have left? Alright, so. I feel like I'm missing something. Wow.
I knew there was something different last time. It's tasting good.
Thank you. That's in there too. Alright, so guys, the two gentlemen that do not have anything. Now, these are different types of thermometers. We should all recognize this one by now, right? Okay, so it actually is only going to measure where that red dot touches. Right now it says the ground is 86.9 degrees. But I need to know what the air temperature is in between the gun and the red dot. So that's what this guy comes into play. So let's say I'm standing here and I have the thermal imaging camera. I say there's a blue spot on the wall. And I shoot the wall with the red laser all the way across and I see that it's the same temperature. Now I know that that blue dot is actually between me and the wall. So the ambient temperature will actually help us because it measures through the probe. Okay? So these are debunking tools. I want to make sure what we're actually capturing is legit. Again, this is a laser. So it shoots very far, so there'll be certain places where I say lasers no. Okay, is that fair?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to hand this one off to you, and that one off to you because you already got your hands full of the football. So. Last but not least,
You're supposed to hold it that way or the other way?
You're fine. Horizontal. As long as I'm not covering the sensor. Yeah, I can see the screen.
So there's a button on the bottom right of the face. You just shut it off and turn it right back on again. And I may have left that EMF meter in.
Try it again.
When he was holding it, showing the screen, he was asking.
I have to explain that one too. So that's actually going to go to you because you're excited.
What was it?
I don't know.
Something good?
EMF reader.
Just don't EVP your pants.
What?
I said just don't EVP your pants.
Is that the burrito talking?
How are you so hot? Because I'm hot. I'm physically warm.
Wait, let me take your temperature.
That's not going to do it, Chief.
Yeah, well, look, it's going
Monkey
up.
goes.
It's going
Yeah,
first.
that's because my body heat is radiating.
Alright, so EMF meters.
There you go.
You're going to understand the joke on my shirt here in about 2 seconds. So we already know what EVPs are, right? Electronic voice phenomenon. So if you notice the colors on my shirt, they're going to match this guy. So this is an EMF meter. It measures 3 different types of electromagnetic fields. The first one is from the earth. That's why it's green. It's going to be natural. The second one is going to be from electronics, or wires, or anything man-made, as I like to call it. So it's going to give us a rhythm. We don't want a rhythm, because then we can debunk that. It's something man-made. We want the craziness. We want the erraticism. We want it to go nuts. When we have that, then we can communicate. We can get the other gadgets involved. So this is going to go off to you. It does not make any noise. So it's kind of a watch. I will say, what's our EMF meter doing? Because it's a place where I would normally.
It's going crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty loud.
So.
If she sees it going nuts, let you know, right?
Yes, absolutely. Like, you will stand still and say, Nick, it's going crazy. You can interrupt whatever I'm doing. There are certain places where it's automatically debunked because we're going to walk along East Bay for a few blocks. Once we go through some locations here, we're going to be on it for about 3, maybe 3.5 blocks. It's going to go nuts because of the parking meters and the crosswalks. The ley lines are underneath. So it's going to spit off enough electricity to make it go nuts. All right, so we start here on purpose. This place is known as Cane Run Bar recently, but before that it was called Big John's. Big John was a football player, 1947 Giants, and he used to sit in the back of the bar and kind of warn the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel were of age or not, like if they were allowed to drink. And one night, he cut 2 guys off because they weren't of age and he knew them. So they get mad, they leave, they come back the next night, and they steal the cash register from the beginning, from the front of the register, from the front of the bar. John sees all this, he pulls out his .45, shoots and kills one. The bullet hole is still in the front of the bar. Anybody that sits in the front of the bar is said to get queasy, not feeling well, those kinds of things. Now, earlier tonight, when I was telling this story to the first group, I was already starting to feel a little weird, but I had food poisoning. I'm still getting over it. So I didn't know what was going on, but I feel okay now, it's just hot. So, anybody starts to feel anything, dizzy, lightheaded, even if it's from the heat and mugginess, please speak up. If somebody in your party's not feeling well, speak up for them. I'm going to ask that. I've had people pass out. I've had people turn around. Like, I turn around and I'm missing half my group because they passed out a block away. Yeah. Sometimes it's too much paranormal activity. Sometimes it's too damn hot. So, it just depends. So use your mask at your discretion. I don't want anybody passing out. I am CPR trained, but I don't want to use it. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. So, you guys, anybody else take any other tours here?
We took one last night.
What kind of tour was it?
It was the cemetery tour.
Magnolia?
Bulldog.
Okay. And what about you guys?
And the dungeon thing.
No tours? No. All right, so we've had an earthquake here. 1886. It was a big one for us because we don't get earthquakes. So that's a very big deal. A piece of the mantling from the front of the building actually came off the building, struck somebody, and killed them. So his ghost is said to be seen right here in East Bay Street. I haven't caught anything yet, but it was from the previous owner of Cane Run Bar. His name was Paul. So we don't know what actually came out of that. I forgot to show you guys. I'm going to use the tools on my phone. I do keep a backup EMF in case your batteries get drained, so I have one of those. But I also use a spirit box on my phone. I think I showed you guys this last time. It gives us words right in the center, and I'm going to clear out the last tour. It actually saves the words for us. Now, the last tour actually had 64 terms. I'm going to clear them out because I already emailed it to myself for their tour. You guys are going to get that word list back. Keep in mind, 80% of this list means nothing. It's the 20% that I'm looking for. So again, this is meant to be a game and a hoax. But I believe in the spirit world can communicate through electronics. Everything you guys are holding takes batteries or charges, right? So that's kind of my belief in how this works. The other spirit box that I use is called a reverse spirit box. This one actually sounds a little creepy because it's backwards, and anything that comes through forwards is what I was meant to hear. Now you'll hear me on your audio communicating with this. That's why I use it on my phone. And any answers that come up, I'll say rewind by 5 seconds. So I'm going to turn it up so you guys can all get the gist of it. Sounds like complete gibberish. So if anything comes through forward, then we'll know that it was in direct communication of what question ever I was asking. Now, those of you with spirit boxes, if you're going to ask questions, give time for them to answer. Ask the same question for a good 2 minutes. Don't, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? No, it's, what's your name? Give them 10, 15 seconds. If you don't hear anything, say it again. What's your name? Give them time to answer. You start asking all kinds of questions, you're not going to get an answer. So just give them a little bit of time. It takes a lot of time to muster up that energy to speak to you. I'm going to do the same thing on my audio. So you guys are going to hear that as well. So, you guys ready to go ghost hunting and stop hearing me talk? All right. Now, your first place we're going to go to is a practice area. How far did we get with your tour? Did we even get to that practice area?
We got everything.
Okay. So this lot we're going to go to, it's haunted. They'll tell you we got some activity. I don't have a specific story. I'll tell you a little bit about the lot, but it's really a way for you guys to practice with your gadgets and to kind of get used to how they work. We'll spend about 5 to 8 minutes there, and then I'll move us along. But I will work with each and every one of you to make sure we're doing the right things. You can ask me questions directly. Is that fair? All right, let's head out. Let's go do some time for those. Back out again. I get it constantly back home. Well, I usually change it anyway. So if it comes up, I just change it because I put just the first name and the date, so in case you guys get back to me about something, I need to do that. But you just need to come back to your business. Alright, so guys, the crew cafe behind us is haunted. That's the white building over there. They've asked me to come and do an investigation. However, COVID's pretty much gotten in the way. The lot we're standing in is where they keep the horses for the carriage rides. So those of you with lasers, I'm going to ask that all of you keep them away from the windows. You will spook the horses. A couple weeks ago, before my vacation, somebody didn't listen. The horses were kicking, and I had to get us out of there. Like really, really bad. So please keep your lasers to the ground. And I will work with you specifically on your lasers to show you how we use them when we're out on the street, how you use it in cabin, correctly. This is also the same place they kept the horses that delivered milk to Charleston. So that kind of dates this for you. We're talking 1860s and 1920s. So this building is pretty old. I get all kinds of names over here. Sometimes I get the teammates from Big John at the bar. Other times I get sucks when you guys are listening to any audio too, because I can't control the volume. But we're going to explore this a little bit. Pictures are okay, just keep them out of the vehicles, keep them away from cars. But as far as the infrared temperature, go ahead and just shoot around. Just make sure your laser doesn't go inside those windows over there. But we'll work together on your grid pen. But spirit box is up. Both your spirit boxes are at reasonable levels, volume-wise. You can control yours. Who has the other? The red spirit box.
One of them got us.
Okay, so your spirit box, just kind of keep it at an arbor level. We don't want to spook the horses with some weird static noises. Just let me know what you hear. But let's go ahead and go explore. Nice slow sweeps on your camera. Just let me know what you find. That way you get a gist of all kinds of different... I didn't get names. What was your name, boss? Brian. Nice to meet you.
So this is going off a little bit.
Good. What? So, what? Just there's nothing here that would actually make that go off. There's a sewer line underneath you.
Oh, no.
Another one, but I got another one. That's good. You're getting more into it. I get that.
Anybody know?
Again, they're going to use the radio voices to talk to us. It's not necessarily them. It could be a female. 119 is perfect person for it. So go ahead. What I can do with these is a button on this way. Straight down. And then that one actually has a toggle switch. So what I do is I turn that one on and I put them next to each other. There you go. So if we actually capture something, and Kim has the camera, and I said, let's take some pictures through the grids to see if we actually have something. I'm gonna say it's been over a month now. We have some weird activity on that wall. As long as you don't go in, I can see the grids go like over it. I'll get a little bit closer. We have some weird watering effect. I can't figure it out. I've been trying to recreate it ever since, and I can't recreate it. It's just been super, super weird.
I wonder.
How crazy it goes next to her.
They're not in the box. They're in the question. When I walk around, I'm separating you guys in the next one. You're going to hear on the audio what I'm saying.
Right in here. We don't like you, Warren.
Okay.
Lasers will set car alarms off too, so kind of be careful of that.
So we can have some real fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
He doesn't like it when you stop.
So I was already getting words on my spare course. You heard the word Bible and then the word truth came up on top.
Yo, I'm going
Does anybody here religious in any form of the way? You've already got the gist of how your spirit works.
Oh, comfy.
See, I do have a friend hanging with me. I hope you're a good friend. You're gonna haunt me, you gotta be cool.
have a gist. You getting a gist of
Oh,
how
yeah.
that guy works?
Yeah, like on the palm back there, up against the wall.
Yeah.
At first you can see the, here's the palm, here's the vines
Right.
next to it, and then we just go all the same color.
Yeah.
Move away a little bit, come back and break it out, and then go all the same color again. So it's like,
Yeah.
kind of over-reading it
Mhm.
is the
Yeah, it's almost
is
like
the
it's
IR
calibrating as
overreading?
it's moving.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair
On
enough. I
that,
mean,
so-
I'll watch that portion just to see
Yeah.
if it's normal.
I was just curious, because it would just, okay, hold it. I don't see any delineation between the vines and the tree now. And then let it move away a little bit and let it look
Yeah.
again. You can see it, but then it still just go to all the same shade of blue.
Interesting.
So like, yeah, did that a
Because
few
there's
times.
a story in that building that I haven't verified yet, like as far as actual activity. Somebody just told me a ghost story, and I don't normally tell it until I have it on proof. So that might be some of that proof. That's why I said that wall with your grid pens is kind of a weird place. I want to validate some more activity there.
And that would actually pick up whenever somebody had the grid
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, the only
You
one it
see a
won't pick
little
up is the
pinpoint.
red one. It'll pick up the green
Right.
one because it's way brighter.
Yep.
But that red one, for some reason, is real weak. It doesn't even show up in the camera.
Wow. Okay.
So we're gonna head to the next spot.
Yep.
So watch your grid. Signs are going crazy over here. So we got kind of the gist of what's happening. So there's no pattern. We'll just place spawns it. Hopefully something comes up on the audio. We have some weird activity happening. And spirit boxes, since we are so active here, this is why I listen to. It's not necessarily you could have missed something that I would normally hear, know how to listen for. So that's how be careful with the camera because it's the regular camera. The light comes over there. It is a parking lot, so no one knows what the other is. So we'll talk about another thing.
Oh, Ghost is coming with us.
Oh yeah. Well, this particular location.
Is that a ghost in the light over there?
Yes, actually it is. So let's leave the spirit boxes off for just a few minutes. Let me tell you what's going on. I promise this will not be parking lot. This is actually the last parking lot. So this is actually the site of the Charles and Eliza Pinckney mansion. So the mansion would have been in front. Eliza's garden would have been lined up with that silver car and the blue dumpster right here. And the slave homes would have been back here with this parking lot. What's so important about the Pinckney is them two had a son named Charles. Her husband was named Charles. They also had a son, Charles, so forth, and then they had a nephew, Charles. Those two Charleses, the son and the nephew, were signers of our Constitution. Very big deal for Charleston and Jackson. Now, I don't care about politics. I'd rather talk about Eliza. Eliza Pinckney, she married Charles so she could stay here in the States because Dad was sick, thought he was dying, and wanted to go home. He said no, we got married and stayed here. That's and her dad lived over in England. So Dad got better, they made a marriage. Dad started selling her things. Her garden was lined up here. She was a Boston. Actually, one of the plants that Dad delivered was indigo.